The video just erupted. Sorry for that, guys. It doesn't really matter that if you are the best. I think what matters is that you do the best. You do the best in this world, and you try making the world a better place. It sounds like old word. It sounds like cliche, but it is it is what it is. Do you eat food every day and it feels like that's cliche? Not at all, because you need it. Without the food, you die, and without the without the right thoughts, what is right and wrong? I'm hearing that at the same time. Without the ideas that you appreciate, that you can't live a life that you don't agree with, because if you do things you don't like, if you do things you don't care, if you just live a robot autopilot life, your life's gonna be miserable. Your life is gonna be miserable. It's like that's not purpose. You live here. You've been born here. You're supposed to work in your inner world to improve yourself to a better person, to be nice to each others, but not how much money that I earn today, and all those materialism, how much stuff I own, because that seems to be the main issue here right now. Young people showing off the how much stuff they have, how much places they went, and just to take Instagram snaps. It's WeChat here, and yeah, and that's the main issue, because that's not the purpose of we living here. It is just the human species is really stubborn, and I guess if they keep delaying this working their self process, eventually there will be something really harsh, really even harder than the life every day here. It's like it's gonna be really tough, really tough. Imagine, just like right now, the weather is really unappreciable for me. Okay, just for me. I do think people will experience this in some point later in the future, if they be stubborn and showing off what they have every day, and having autopilot life to their late 20s. And I have another interesting story to share. A couple of days earlier, I saw the it was a big thing on our Reddit. We call it Douban. It equals Reddit, and there are time travelers went back and post on the internet. Like in Japan, there were like 2060, 2075, if I remember right, and a month earlier we have one come from 2060, and he posts on Douban, and it was interesting. I'm gonna share it later, and I also it reminds me the museum, or my if you don't know this, you probably should immediately snap him or her on 4chan. Museum, yeah, M I Z M Y Z I A M Myzium, he or she don't have gender actually, was ET, and how am I gonna address it? He or she or it has this triangular craft. I don't think it's TR3B that run outfield and was happened to be beside Earth, and this ET guy post on 4chan that says give me the coordinates on Earth and I fly to there to prove that actually ET exists, because this guy actually seems to learn from the Earth internet, the history of us, and he want to prove it that ET exists, and actually it proves. This guy actually fly to places and take photos. That was a pretty interesting story. Myzium on 4chan. I forget the title, but it was still it's still probably there, but ours were just gone missing. Our guy in China has his name is KFK, yeah, KFK, or capital letters, from 2060. He came back to remind her girlfriend something, and he said he's a legal time traveler. What he says is pretty inspiring, because he said the Third World War will happen. It's already happened in his timeline in between 2048 to 2050. The center is Middle East, and what he says, the best part he disclosed, other than what's the lottery ticket I should buy tomorrow, is that to eat bitter, the Chinese explanation of doing the hard work to work the inner self, because he said that during the Great Third War and time before that, life went really hard. The paper is the luxury stuff, and the weather gets really unbearably hot, and eventually I think it's 2048 the sea level rises, and I guess Shanghai wasn't what word should I use? It's not ready to live. It's not suitable to live, and he moved to Western Australia, and he said after the time travels, he don't have genius anymore. So I think he physically travels. I think. What else? Oh yeah. And after the Great War, and people finally snapped, like it's just like wake up, and then everything went to the right direction. People working in their inner self. My first reaction is, oh my god, it really took 50 years for that from now, or maybe I should say 30 years, yeah, 2048, 2050, 2020 now almost, and it's like that's an awful long time. It took us another 30 years, if that's the actual timeline we're gonna go to finally do the right thing. That's why I think this race is really stubborn, and it must have something that really kicks their ass, and then they feel the pain, and finally, and the result is gonna be like rocketing, and because this race is like a scrapped version of the Anunnaki beings, and I guess we have great potential, but have many functions being switched off. It must be some sort of events that switch on all this switches, and we just snapped and become the a great race again. And wow, it really takes a long time, isn't it? So Chinese will experience really hardship in the future and decades, and the people and being through a hell lot of shit, really terrible things like what I just experienced today. Because I think everyone in some point will experience something I'm experiencing right now. My life is really a hardship, but every day I feel every day not doing what I love, not enjoying what I did is a terrible day. I will put it that way, and that's seemingly everyone doing right now. Everyone experiencing a life that they want. Most people, except the ultra rich people, and because if you keep follow your heart, eventually you will achieve something. Because just like if you keep working to some point, eventually you will reach it. And I just wanna be a example. I mean, oh, my phone just rings. I'll make sure. I just want to live a life that I want. I don't even care to be an example of what, but what I want to share you is 知道了 okay. Why I'm saying English, speaking English. What I want to get is to do it faster. That's it. Have a life that you love and start right now. That means faster.